These papers always have a weakness. They are very predictable. So in this case, we'll be marking option C as part of a mental game we are playing, right? This is a game. We are marking option C. So as a matter of fact, this is also the correct answer. Hello everyone, I am Zeeshan Hashmi, and today we are here to briefly learn how CSAT is exactly a game. Solving a CSAT paper, attempting a CSAT paper is as good as playing a game. Number two, how it is extremely easy to clear CSAT. Third, very interestingly, what we'll be doing is we'll be seeing at the evidence that you can confidently use hacks. You guys will be using tricks, hacks, logical paper solving skills now and here during this session. It will be a reverse engineering kind of thing. And fourth one, challenge, that is to provide answers without reading even the questions. Now, guys, in the previous webinar sessions, we had solved a few questions from 2020 prelims paper, CSAT paper, without reading the passage. And I saw a comment on one of my videos where when a person said that if you're so confident about your logics, about your tricks, why are you even reading the question? Because interestingly, that can be done. You can even solve questions both from maths and from reading comprehension, not only without reading the comprehension, but also without reading the question itself. So that is going to be something interesting that we'll be doing. And we'll be starting quickly with the first question, which is a maths question. And we'll take it as a game. There is no question here. There are only 4 options. As I can see on the screen. Nisha, what do you make out of these options? Nisha, can you hear me? Your mic is off.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you understand by these options?
Is divisibility or...
Okay, if I ask you, Nisha, give me an answer from among these 4 options. One answer is correct. Can you give me the correct answer for sure?
Yes, sir. Sir, I think
1183 is the correct answer, and this you are telling without even reading the question.
Yes,
also,
sir. Sir, other 3 options look similar.
The 3 options are similar. Okay, it's good. It's good. You have tried, but the answer is another one. It's not D. So let's play this game. You don't have a question before you. Fine. Now, if I ask you to commonalities between these 4 options. Now in option A, option B, option C, first 2 digits are 10, 10, 10. In option D, the digit is a different one. In the last 2 digits, the numbers are 63, 73, 83, 8. Yes. Clear so far? Fine. So as we saw earlier, now the game is you'll have to pick up an option which has more commonalities among the given. So here, looking at this slide, you'll have more clarity. 10, 10, 10, 3 questions, 3 options, 83, 83, 2 options. Now, maximum commonality is present in which option? It is option C. So in this case, we'll be marking option C as part of a mental game we are playing, right? This is a game. We are marking option C. So as a matter of fact, this is also the correct answer of the question. Now this is that question. Nisha, can you just read it out?
Yes, sir. What is the smallest number greater than 1000 that when divided by any one of the numbers 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 leaves a remainder of 3?
Now, Yash, Nisha, if you want, you can take your time and solve this question. Tell me how much time do you need to get to this answer? Would you want?
Because we have to first calculate LCM and then...
Definitely it will take time. You might be able to arrive to the correct answer, but it will take time definitely. So what have we done? We have started with a maths question as if we are playing a game. And this was the original slide. And the rule of the game was choose the option with maximum commonality. So we did this exercise. We just marked first two digits and last two digits. Those are common. And we marked option C, which happens also to be the correct answer of this question. So what is our motive here? What is our motive here? Why have we marked answer? And how could we mark it despite not seeing the question itself? Now, till now we did this exercise only in reading comprehension. But now we are doing this also in maths question, just to validate the point that these things are not only applicable in comprehension questions, but also in maths questions. In objective question, in objective papers, be it CSAT, be it paper 1, or be it any objective paper, these papers always have a weakness. They are very predictable. Their format can be hacked. Their language, vision to look through the questions, look through the options. So this is just first example of how we could do it. We have done this in the maths question. Clear so far, Nisha, Yash?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, moving ahead, doing the same exercise, we don't. Let's first read what we have on the screen. Yash, can you please read it out?
Tsunamis, as these are the large-scale disaster. It sees.
Okay, Yash, you have a choice. You have to choose among two options, which seems correct to you. One is correct, one is incorrect. Which one will you choose as correct?
First option is correct.
First option is correct according to you. Okay, let's ask other people as well. Neha,
Sir, second option, sir.
So first option contain all people. So like
Second option.
yeah, this is not correct. First,
The
yeah,
guys,
second
first
option.
thing, although it will be extreme sub.
otherwise things will get messed up. Neha,
So second seems more correct because first
Why?
says all people will living on coast will die. So all cannot die. There can be possibility that some will survive even after the disaster is very grave.
and if you pay attention,
And-
Neha, the
And
statement
second
says-
also second seems general.
Uh-huh.
Second statements also seem general statement.
Okay. If you pay attention, the statement says all people living on coasts. It talks about coasts, not India. So that means we are looking at a global scenario. Okay.
Hmm.
So crores of people live on coasts. So doesn't it seem unlikely that all those crores of people will die due to tsunami just because it's a large scale disaster? Does it make sense? Neha,
No, sir.
Bhavna? Okay, so that's a commonsensical thing. Similarly, statement 2, tsunamis of varying magnitude are common in open seas. So this is a thing of common knowledge. There is nothing, no rocket science here. We
Yes,
know
sir.
this, we have read this. Fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, as simple as it seems, now I'll present 4 options before you. Now you are very clear in your mind that with respect to tsunamis, disasters, and what is common, what is uncommon. Now let's see this very thought process of ours. Does it help to solve a real question from 2022 CSAT paper? Bhavna, please just read out the statements.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Option 1, species not fully prepared to face the environmental changes that await them will face extinction. Second, all the existing species would get extinct as their genomes will not withstand biological mishaps.
Mhm.
Third, inability of the genome to withstand environmental changes would result in extinction. Fourth, extinction of species is a common feature.
ठीक है. Let me ask some other guy here. Amit Mishra.
Yes, sir.
Amit, now
Yeah,
we have gone statements using that very thought process. We'll use that thought process after a moment. First, tell me, Statement 1 says species not fully prepared to face environmental challenges that await them will face extinction. Doesn't it feel plausible? If
Yeah,
species,
so sir, first looks correct, and from the previous one, right? If we are just go with the second statement, all
no,
the
we'll come to
existing,
it. We'll come to it. We'll come to it.
yeah, the
Come to it.
first looks correct, sir.
First looks very plausible.
Correct.
Nothing wrong about it. Statement 3.
Statement
Inability of the genome to withstand environmental changes would,
also possible, right? This is not a very extreme statement.
if the genome of that particular species is incapable, it's unable to cope up, it might face extinction. As simple as that. Nothing problematic so far, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So third is also correct.
Okay. So we have read 4 options and we have come to the conclusion that statement 1 and statement 3 seem plausible to us. Like we don't feel the need to eliminate at least statement 1 and statement 3. We can say
Correct,
that safely.
Correct, sir.
Now, which options have 1 and 3 together?
The option C, option A.
Option C and option A. ठीक है. So 1 and 3 is common, but we have to choose between 2 and 4. We have to choose between 2 and 4. Now let's go back to the same thought process that we discussed when we saw these 2 questions. Tsunamis, all people who die globally due to tsunamis, and tsunamis are common in the open seas. Statement 2 and statement 4.
So statement 2 is containing the all the existing species would get extinct as their genome will not withstand biological mishaps. So option 2 looks wrong.
Read option 4, Amit.
Extinction of species is a common feature. Yeah, that's correct. So this happens,
so,
right?
You don't know the question. You haven't read the passage, but still you are saying using that commonsensical approach which you saw in the previous slide. Here we are not even discussing Uncle Jolly's rules. Okay, here we are using our common sense. Fine. Just to prove that it's quite easy to come to the answer, contrary to the belief that CSAT is really a difficult paper. So coming back to the question, 4, Amit, you are saying you would choose 4 over 2, right?
Correct. Yeah. So the option C is correct according to me.
Okay. So option C is definitely correct. Going through the original thought process, we came to the conclusion that 1 and 3 are very plausible. Which options have 1 and 3? It is A and C, and we chose 4 over 2. Fine. If we had an option which contained both 2 and 4, we might have got confused. But UPSC has made our job easier here by not giving all the statements, all of the above as an option. Right? Amit and others.
Right. Yeah, right, sir.
So we came to the correct answer. We arrived to the correct answer. That is option C. 1, 3, and 4 are correct. Some people are raising hands. Guys, I'll take all your questions at the end. I'll take all your questions. Okay. So this is the question that we saw. Amit, can you read the question now? The question is visible on the upper side.
Yeah, according to the passage, natural selection cannot anticipate future environments on the earth as the first option is species not fully.
We have seen the statements. Correct. We have also derived the correct answer. And now we are looking at the question. Okay. Earlier we did the same thing with the maths question. We derived the correct answer in that maths question without even looking at the question. What was the question demanding? Right?
Yes, sir.
So does it feel interesting so far, Amit?
Yes, sir. It's quite interesting. Yeah.
Fine. So 2 questions we have derived the answer without looking at the passage, not only looking at the question. Okay, let's move ahead. Now I'll ask other student to read this.
Yes, sir.
Who is this?
Sir, Akash.
Akash. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So before going ahead, this was the passage for this question. This was this big passage which would have not only consumed time, but there was no guarantee that you would definitely derive the correct answer from this one. So we are just skipping this passage. We are directly jumping to the next question. Before that, Can you read this out, please?
Okay, sir. Tell me this. First, sitting idly is preferable over working for their own benefit. Third, humans are incapable of thinking spiritually. Fourth, in today's hectic world, stress is on the rise.
Yeah, Shailesh, you have to choose 3 incorrect statements and 1 correct statement. Which one would you choose as the correct one?
The third one, sir.
Third one, humans are incapable of thinking spiritually.
Yes, sir.
So that is correct as per you. ठीक है, fine. Akshata, Nadir Shah, Sushmita, what about you guys? Who is raising hand here? Shubham, what about you?
Sir, I think option 4, in today's hectic world, stress is on the rise, is correct according to me, sir.
In today's hectic world, stress is on the rise seems correct to you. And why not the earlier 3 statements?
Sir,
Sushmita?
yes, sir, both 1 and 2 also it seems to be correct, sir, because sitting idle is preferable over working. Yes, it seems correct, sir. Women cannot think
No.
about their own benefit.
Sitting idle मतलब खाली बैठना बेहतर है rather than working. काम मत करो, खाली बैठो. Is that a
So
good thing to do?
sorry, sir, it is incorrect.
Incorrect.
Yes, sir.
Women cannot think about their own benefit. Can I say that you are incapable of
No,
thinking
yes,
about
yes.
your own benefit?
No, sir.
You are intelligent enough to think about your own benefit. Humans are incapable of thinking spiritually. I don't know whether you are spiritual or not, but can we say that humans in general are incapable of thinking spiritually? Sushmita?
No, sir.
Who is this?
Amit here. No, sir, we can't say that.
Okay. And statement 4, in today's hectic world, stress is on the rise. Now, this is a thing of common knowledge.
Yeah, that
Fine.
we can say as per the report as well as the mental health, right? So the
Fine.
fourth conclusion, we can do the conclusion for 4.
Fine. So statements 1, 2, 3 don't make sense, and statement 4 makes sense. And this is something we are speaking from our basic understanding, from our common sense. No special knowledge is required here, right, Amit?
Correct, sir.
Now let's jump to the next question, and let's see if this common sensical approach helps us in the next question. This question is again from 2022 CSAT paper. Okay, I want someone another to take this question. Rohit, Pradeep.
Yes,
Rohit, Pradeep.
Yes, sir. Pradeep this side.
Pradeep, please read the question options.
Yes, sir. Sir, option A, man should not work hard. And option B, the great evil of our age is a overstrain. And option C, the man cannot think well. And option D, man cannot care of his spiritual welfare.
Okay, Pradeep, if I'm not wrong, you have enrolled in the CSAT club already.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So you are a good candidate to ask this question. Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what do you think about this option? So you don't know the question. You
Yes, sir.
are
Yes.
only seeing the options on the screen. Among the 4 given options, which one would you choose as the most plausible one, based on your common sense, based on what we have seen in the previous slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. According to me, option A, looking a negative condition. A man should not work hard. Okay, sir.
Option A doesn't seem a good option. It's something very negative. That's what you're saying.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
Okay.
And also option C, man cannot think well. It's also a negative in condition, sir. According to me.
Okay.
And option D, man cannot care of his spiritual welfare. This is also looking a negative one. According to me, the option B is correct.
Option B, the great evil
Yes,
of
sir.
our age is overstrain.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you require some special knowledge to answer this question, or you just answered it out of your own common sense?
I think it's just a common knowledge, sir. Common thinking.
Okay. Now
Yes,
that's
sir.
quite interesting, because this is a real UPSC prelims paper.
Yes,
And
sir.
here,
Yes, sir.
Yes, the answer definitely option B is correct. Good that you could answer it
Yes, sir.
correctly. And this is the question. Now read the question, Pradeep.
The passage above on the idea that.
Okay, so this is the question. The passage is based on the idea that. Here
Yes,
we are
sir.
looking for the main idea.
Definitely, sir.
And interestingly, Pradeep,
Yes, sir.
you found out the correct answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the interesting part, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Fine, fine. So ahead. Who is this? Sunita Gowda. Sunita, please switch on your camera.
Yes, sir.
And please read what's there on the screen.
Tell me this.
There is some network issue with Sunita. Sunita, there is some network issue on your side. We'll ask someone else. Diksha, can you read it? Diksha, Vaishali.
Yes, sir, I'll read it. Vaishali.
Who is this?
Vaishali. Sir, Vaishali.
Vaishali, yeah, please go ahead.
Children have monopoly over thrill, enthusiasm, and fun. Question mark. A doctor doesn't know how to prescribe medicines. There can be multiple reasons for worsening mental health today.
Okay, Vaishali, which statement makes sense and which other two statements doesn't make sense to you?
So the third makes sense. The first.
Why don't statements 1 and 2 make sense to you? Why doesn't they make sense?
Doctor, of course, knows how to prescribe medicines. That's his profession. And the first one, children have monopoly over thrill, enthusiasm, and fun, is kind of a blanket statement because everybody can have thrill, enthusiasm, and fun. Children don't have the monopoly over it.
Okay,
They do
children
have
don't
more
monopoly
fun than
over
others.
fun,
But
thrill and enthusiasm. A doctor knows how to prescribe medicines. And these statements might seem absurd at the face of it. Fine. But this is something out of our common sense that will help us solve the next question. What about statement 3, Vaishali?
yes, so statement 3, there can be multiple reasons for discussing it every day at the global level as well. So this is definitely a right statement, I think.
Okay, so this is part of your common knowledge, a common sensical thing, right, Vaishali?
Yes, sir, definitely.
ठीक है. Now, jumping to the options, not question. We are looking at the options.
Yes,
just
sir.
read the options, and tell me which one seems more plausible compared to the other options.
Okay, sir.
Just
It is
read the
not
options one by one.
okay. It is not possible for adults to feel thrilled by presents. There can be more than one reason why adults feel less thrilled by present.
Okay.
The author doesn't know. Adults have less capacity to feel the love, joy of loving or being loved.
Okay, Vaishali, tell me, among the 4 options, which one would you choose as the most plausible? You don't know the question, okay? Just most plausible.
Sir, I think option number 2, that is, there can be more by presence, because the first is it is not possible. So something like not possible is again not possible as an answer.
Okay. Statement 1 says it is not possible for adults to feel thrilled by presents. You are saying that shouldn't be the case. That is not
That
is possible.
That is not
what
the
you are saying,
case.
Vaishali.
Yes, sir. And the third option, I'm saying author doesn't know why adults feel less thrilled by presents, is a ambiguous statement, because then why would the author have a passage if they don't know anything?
What you're saying is, why would author write something about which he doesn't know?
Yes, sir. About which they don't know. Why would about adults liking of present? Why would this option be? And this third option, the fourth option is adults have less capacity to feel the joy of loving or being loved. So again, this capacity is abstract. So this is such a certain statement, which is again not a possibility. So I think the most probable would
Fine.
be
So
B.
A, C, D doesn't seem more plausible. They doesn't appeal to you. Option B appeals more to you, which says there
Yes,
can be
sir.
more than one reason why adults feel less thrilled by presents. Okay. So can we safely say comparatively adults feel less enthusiasm, less Vaishali?
Yes, sir. Comparatively, yes.
Comparatively, yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
certainly there have to be some reasons, and there can be multiple reasons. You can
Yes,
say that
sir.
safely
Yes, sir.
out of our common sense.
Yes, sir.
He says exactly that there can be more than one reason why adults feel less thrilled by presents. Very good, Vaishali. You
Yes, sir.
pointed
Thank
option
you.
B as a correct answer, and that is indeed the correct answer. Option A,
Okay.
C, and
Thank
D
you,
are
sir.
incorrect, and option B is correct. Again, to reiterate this thing, this is again a question from 22, which we have in which we have derived the correct answer without reading the passage, without even looking at the question, just using our common sense, nothing else. Fine. Shubham, you are raising hand from quite some time. Shubham. Yes, Shubham. Sorry. Please post your question in the chat box, Shubham. You are not very audible. Please post your question in the chat box. Okay. So I'll take all those questions at the end. Moving ahead. So this was the question. This was the answer. And the question, Vaishali, please read out the question now. Till now, we hadn't read the question only.
With reference to the passage, which one of the following statement is correct?
Fine. So with reference to the passage, now the question says, with reference to the passage. Now the reference is with respect to the passage. We haven't read the passage. We haven't read even this question that was asking us something with reference to the passage, and we derived the correct answer.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay, very good, Vaishali. Moving ahead. Now, up कौन बोलेगा? Who's next? Rutuja. Shailesh. Be quick. That थोड़ी देर पहले हमने देखा कि adults have less enthusiasm compared to kids. Don't prove it right. Yeah, we'll look at the next question. Ritu Kumari. Who is raising hand? Speak up, please.
Yes, sir.
Who is this?
Srushti here.
Srushti. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just read what's there on the screen, Srushti.
Okay, sir. Tell me this. First statement, most of the Chinese people eat fish. Second, there is no need to eat fish. And third, some Chinese people do not like fish.
Okay. So these are three statements.
Yes, sir.
Tell me which one seems most plausible to you, Srushti?
Sir, the second one, that there is no need to eat fish.
Okay. Statement 2 seems most appealing to you. There is no
Yes,
need
sir.
to eat fish.
That sir, it is not true like that.
No. Which
Okay,
one
so
seems to be correct, or which one seems to be most plausible? Which one seems?
so, sir, first statement is the most that most of the Chinese people eat fish, and the third one also that some Chinese people do not like to eat fish.
Give me one statement which seems to be correct to you. One statement.
Most of the Chinese people eat fish.
Most of the Chinese people eat fish. This seems to be most correct.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, let me ask this to other students as well. Who is this? Kamal Kant? What about you? Yes, Kamal Khan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, to me, it must be statement third that reads some people, some Chinese people do not like fish.
You are saying that statement 3 looks most plausible to you. Some Chinese people do not like fish. Why is that?
Yeah, yeah.
Why is that?
Because why? Because in actually the second statement is already eliminated, and when we have to choose out of first and three, so first statement read like most of the Chinese people eat fish. So we can't be sure that majority of the people will be fish eating in China.
Okay.
We can't damn sure about it, but definitely we can
Fine.
go with the statement which reads like some Chinese people. I mean, there is a possibility that some people are there in the China who do not like eating fish.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying you are not sure about what majority of Chinese people like, but you are ready to safely say that some Chinese people, there might be some Chinese people who do not like fish out of the.
Yeah, it's a general statement in terms of any country. There might be some people who do not like fish.
Okay. What about you, Ibn, Harsh? Ibn, Harsh, what about you guys?
Third one.
Who's this? Who is this? Fine. Bhavya?
Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Bhavya. What according to you?
So I am going along with some Chinese people do not like fish because in every society, as said earlier, there are chances some people like fish, some people don't like fish, and 1 and 2
Chinese people do not
is
like
not that general.
Statement 3 seems most plausible because there will always be some people who will either not like fish, who will not like milk, who will not like some vegetable. There will always be that small group of people, right? But when you are extrapolating it to a bigger majority of the population, that can be a risky proposition where you have a possibility of going wrong. So that's as simple as that, right, Bhavya?
Yes.
Okay, Bhavya. Now let's jump to the main question. Please read out the options, Bhavya.
Okay. Most of the people do not accumulate money for their needs. B. Most of the people never people who fail to accumulate money for their needs. There is no need to accumulate money.
Fine. So among the given 4 options, now again, this is again a question from 2022 CSAT exam. Among these 4 options, which seems most plausible to you, given that you haven't seen the question, you are only looking at the option. Based on your common sense, your general understanding, one option that seems most safe, most plausible. Bhavya. Okay, till Bhavya is thinking, others can answer.
The C option,
I think C.
Who is this?
C option.
Tell me your name.
Neha.
Option C seems to be correct. Why is that?
Because sir, to answer, if more going with statement 1, most of the people do not accumulate money for their needs. So to say most of the people do it or don't do or they don't do that, we need to know that those people, a lot of people. And same goes with B, and D is very extreme. So to say more of like most of the people do that and most of the people don't do that, we need to know those people or we need to know something about those people. But C is very general because there will be some people who will fail to accumulate money. So I think option C.
Okay. So what you're saying, C is more general and C is more safe when it says
Yes. Yes.
There are people who fail to accumulate money for their needs. In the previous slide, as we saw, there will always be people who won't like something, be it fish, be it vegetables, or be it something else. Fine. Bhavya, have you come up with the answer?
Yes, sir. I am going with C because A and B is.
So in the option A and B, the word most is used, and as we go by what we have said earlier, most is least likely to be the correct answer. And option D is we have no need. That's also extreme. The extreme words is option C.
Okay, okay. So even Bhavya is saying option C has to be the correct answer. Now, even Bhavya hasn't seen the question, and using her common sense, using her common sense, using her general understanding of things, she's saying option C has to be correct. Now let's see what's the correct answer. Definitely option C is correct. There are people who fail to accumulate money for their needs, just like me. Option A, B, and D are incorrect. Now, Bhavya, just read out the.
Okay, sir. Which one of the following is implied by the passage? Most of the people do not accumulate money
Fine,
for
fine.
their
We have read
needs.
the option. We have read the option. We have already derived the answer.
Okay.
Question was, which of the following is implied by the passage? Again, you need the question is asking you to read the passage and speak or tell what is its theme, central message. That is what the question is asking you to do. And we have derived that without reading the passage, number one. Number two, even without reading the question. Fine. So we have seen 5-6 questions from reading comprehension section. We have also seen a maths question. Just to go back. This was the maths question which we solved even without looking at the question. Just by looking at the options, we derived the answer. Later we came to the question, we read the question and realized it would have taken us much time, and many among you could not have even solved this question because many students have this difficulty, especially with respect to maths. So we derived this answer even without reading at the question. So that is something interesting for many people out there. Then we came to reading comprehensions, and we tried to use our common sense for each question that we saw from 2022 CSAT paper, and using that common sensical approach, we derived the correct answer from reading comprehension questions without reading the passages and even without reading the question. And this is something that we did. This is something that we did without even speaking about the rules or about the Uncle Jolly approach, as we call it. Uncle Jolly approach, when we go into detail, so this thing becomes even more easier. That's something which is done in the workshop. But in this workshop, my motive was to make you understand that even without going deep into Uncle Jolly's techniques, and even just by using some hacks, you can answer real UPSC questions, real questions asked by UPSC in CSAT paper in 2022. So this is something. Now this is the level of understanding that we can achieve just in this particular webinar. Just imagine what we could do in a span of 30 days, which the hacked CSAT workshop will be spanning for 30 days. This is the last one. Both batches would be starting on 10th of February. Number one, smash of 30 days, which would be very simple, where we would be learning logical paper solving skills, tricks, hacks, and we'll learn how we can boost our score, where our knowledge fails us, where our conventional books fail us, how we can jump beyond that score and move ahead of the general lot. That's our Destroy Prelims workshop as part of Smash Prelims. Number two, Hacked CSAT workshop. Now this is just a trailer that we have seen. We'll be going into detail various tricks, logical paper solving skills, hacks, both for reading comprehension, reasoning, and maths as part of the hacked CSAT workshop